Well, welcome to Stroke of Genius podcast executive experience. I'm going to take a minute. I just realized I had the wrong background on there. So let me change it real quick. But I got a really amazing guest for today. Her name's Cindy Tschosik, and she's known as a book daughter. And that is really what I want to go. I want to go kind of a deep dive into why she does what she does, and why it's important for us as executives, as business leaders, to write a book. It's really important. So let's, only got 30 minutes with Cindy, so let's get into it. Welcome to the Stroke of Genius podcast executive experience. I'm your host, Aaron Alva. I am CEO and founder of Stroke TV Media. I created this podcast to give us access to top-level entrepreneurs, executives, and global thought leaders. So without further ado, here's your host, Aaron Alva. Then there's my lovely sister, Cindy Tschosik.
Aaron, thank you.
Take a minute to introduce yourself, Cindy.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. It's always such a pleasure. And last time we talked, we had the Christmas tree background. So
Right.
we do have a different background today. My name is Cindy Tschosik. I hail from Chicago area, and I am a ghostwriter and book doctor for people who want to share their mental health journey, whether they were experiencing any type of mental disease or trauma, abuse, addiction. Those are the people that I partner with to either ghostwrite their book or book doctor their book.
Now, I want to give a shout out to a friend of ours out there in the audience. And he's the first one out there. Here's Daniel Hoover. Thank you, Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
Hey, would you mind give a shout out, bro? Yeah, thank you for coming. But Cindy, I want to jump right into it because we only have 30 minutes together. It's going to go but quick. I want you to tell me, and I'll tell the audience, as business professionals, why should we write a book as a business professional?
As business professionals, it's super important to write our book. There's lots of avenues that we could use our book once it's published in order to increase our credibility, to have extra sales if you're a speaker or an executive, to get new clients. You could get it you could give it to clients or sell it to your clients. For instance, I write for a lot of psychologists, psychotherapists, and they have it in their offices in order for the clients their patients to pick it up and read it and learn more about their conditions, experience, things that they may not know already. As executives in corporate or executives owning your own business, it is important because having a published book sets you apart from other people in your space. And the reason it does that is because now you have taken however many years of experience and expertise you have in your career or careers and in the current thing that you do, and you can compile that into lessons learned. You can compile it into successes achieved, or even how to get to a certain achievement or meet a certain goal. So whatever it is, if you take what you do and you think about, let's say, 10 to 12 lessons that you would love people to learn about in order to avoid their mistakes or save them money down the road and give them an easier path to get to possibly the point you're at, that is very valuable for other people. I recently did a podcast with Speaker Flow about the 7 lessons I wish I knew before I started my business. And it's very, something like that. It doesn't have to be rocket science. You don't have to be an academic to write a book. The self-publishing world, hybrid publishing world has opened this space, this ability for anyone to write a book and publish it and help other people. So anyone can write a book. Hopefully it's a well-written book. And you could get that by, if you're a good writer already, or if you get some additional support on the side to get it to where it's a good impact. It leaves people with a good impression of you.
Great. So I'm curious, something you said, I want to repeat that really is the reason I told you in the agreement, might get 4 bucks in my heart.
I
I
know.
want to write and want to express to the world.
Mhm.
But it brings us to a level as an entrepreneur executive, it levels up our expertise. And that really is something. That really is something I want to do. And you're saying that's what we should be doing.
Yes, I am really excited about your book specifically, Aaron, especially the fourth one you shared with me. I really think that will be powerful. Not only to survive, but also to care for them, because sharing your own personal journey is really powerful for other people. Because I believe there's two things I really strongly believe. Number one, if we've struggled through something, there's someone else who is struggling through that same experience. And if our struggles can help someone else get through it faster, stronger, easier, less expensive, and make less mistakes, then it kind of gives it a little bit more purpose for us. And also, our lessons teach other people. And other people are looking for that. They're looking for our story so they don't feel alone. So they know that them having a stroke or their loved one having a stroke, we know lots of people have strokes, but are people writing about it? Are people writing about their journey? For instance, I've written a couple of books for moms about their children who have either been diagnosed with a terminal illness or have lived with a disease their whole life. And, they turn those books into a journal for other people, trying to help their child live longer than the expected 3 years, to help other caregivers understand what it's like to care for someone with a disability, a child with a disability, and what you can do with it. And it's so powerful and uplifting to their readers, so that they know they're not alone, but also to look at other perspectives and lessons you've learned along the way, or new treatments. For instance, my author, Kristen Scandiri, who wrote a book about her son, Nixon, who unfortunately passed when he was 4.5 years old, she was trying all kinds of alternative medicines. She would take him horseback riding. She would take him with the oxygen helmet. I mean, it was just unbelievable. And sometimes, we don't even know that. At one point, it was so bad that she put some CBD oil on him and with a little bit of THC, and it got him sitting up, and the doctors were stunned. They never knew she did that, but they were stunned because they were saying, get your affairs in order. So there's like little nuggets that we go through that we think everyone knows. Nobody knows. So if you could share those nuggets of something you've done differently or something that you've done that other people have done, they're not writing the book, you are. And that's why it's so important for us to share what we've been through and what we can teach.
That is so amazing. Really, for me, the money is secondary. I want to leave a legacy personally. I want to impact people's lives now. Then, like you just said, people know they're not alone. And there's too much in this world right now to distract people from sharing who they are with other human beings and the impact. I want to kind of touch just a bit because I can still remember we did a podcast together a while ago. But how you got into doing what you're doing.
Oh,
Tell me a little bit. I know. Tell me a little bit about why you do what you do.
Well, can I circle back on 2 points you made? First of all, the legacy piece, right? Yeah. When we're writing a book and we're writing for a business, or we're writing it to teach people lessons, or our own personal story, we forget how important that legacy is. And I want everyone to keep in mind that when you write a book, no matter what it's about, it's a legacy that your loved ones, the people you inspired, the people you cared about or worked about, are going to be able to keep and remember you by. I had my first speaker client was Colonel Jill Morgenthaler about 6 years ago now. And she had written a book already, but she was one of my marketing clients. And she became my client, then we were friends, and she was becoming my mentor, and she just promised to be my coach for speaking. And she unexpectedly passed away after she had finished a scuba diving excursion. And it was just shattering to the communities around her. And it just all left us stunned. And the first thing I did was go to her book that she had signed for me and traced her name, her autograph on that book. And it just helped me, kind of ground myself and just know that she's always going to be with me. But, those are the reasons why we do what we do, and we write books. And it's a longer lasting legacy than doing the work that we do sometimes. And then the other piece you asked about is how I got into the business. I had a marketing agency. This will be the short version. I had a marketing agency in 2013, and I did that for 5 years. And for whatever reason, I knew I would always ghostwrite books on a beach. I didn't have the beach at the time, but a couple of clients had asked me if I would write their books, and I said sure. And they had pretty much almost written them, but we rewrote some of it. We did some book doctoring. Book doctoring is a really deep edit on an existing manuscript, rearranging structure, that kind of stuff, to polish it up and get it ready for publishing. So that's what I call it. And so I wrote those 2 books, and I'm like, well, I don't have the beach right now, but I love doing this. So I closed the marketing agency and started it doing full time. There was definitely a market for it. And the reason I shifted in 2000, okay, so that was 2013. In 2014, I was actually in a state of planning my suicide. And I was getting ready I was preparing for me to die by suicide. And I had locked my biggest fear was who was going to find me. And I didn't want it to be my husband or my kids. So I just kind of like sat there. I don't know why, that was prominent in my mind. And I just kind of locked myself in a chair and I just cried through it. And at the end, 3 hours later, or whatever it was, I was looking up around the room, and there was this little sliver of light, just a little sliver of gold light beaming in the living room up near the ceiling. And the sun had already gone around. And so there's no reason why a sliver of light would be there. And I just started meditating, and I'm like, what is the difference? What is your purpose? Why are you here? What is this? And it was kind of like, what is going on? And as I meditated on it, it came to me that on the other side of this sliver of light, it's going to be better. Life will be better. Just focus on the sliver of light and you will get through it. And on the other side of light, you'll be better. And so I just kept telling myself, the sliver of light, find the sliver of light, find the sliver of light. And when I got up from that chair, I no longer wanted to end my life. And I knew that light was the instigation that I would someday write about it and talk about it. And so at the time, I wasn't quite writing books yet full time, but in 2018, I started writing full time. In 2021 or 2022, I focused narrowly on mental health and people's personal journeys. And that's why, is because I have my own personal journey of depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, as well as suicidal planning. And I want people to know, what does it look like? What do we say? How do we get help? All those things, because so many of us, and I was talking about speaking and writing about mental health before it was like the trend, right? Since COVID, it's kind of become a trend, which is great. Any talk about it will stop the stigma of us having mental health issues. So I'm all for it. So this has been going on a long time, and it's such a pleasure. It's such an honor and a privilege to write every book I get to write with my authors, because there's nothing better than helping them share such an important story in order to impact other people's lives. And then the additional purpose or additional benefit for them writing their book is if they heal themselves. There's a lot of healing that goes on writing your own book.
As you express, like when I even think about expressing myself like that through a book, there's a healing that begins to take place in me. And I haven't even started it yet, but you touch on something that is so powerful. That your purpose was revealed to you that day. I've been there where you were at, by the way, several times in my life, and nobody understands it. But I have to ask Cindy, have you written a book about that yet?
No, I am. I'm starting this winter. It should be.
All right, you better.
Paul. Yeah.
The world needs it. The world needs that book.
Thank you so much.
I'm telling you that from my heart because when you're speaking, I was drawn into your energy, and I was probably the same way I would if I bought your book. At the end of it, I drew myself. I found myself emotionally going. I felt like crying because I never would not been there. You weren't alone, and I can't wait till you write that book. So, but I think I really want to circle back a little bit. What's something you said about the lady that died, and then is the book is a legacy. I am doing what I do to leave a legacy, and a book is perfect. A book is absolutely perfect.
It is.
You can pick up, see that person there. You can read about the person.
Yes, exactly.
So, Cindy, how do we start? I know where I'm starting. I've told you what I'm doing. I thought I don't know where I heard to start there, but what I'm doing, we have two options. You have really a service called ghostwriting. It is. I'm going to be using it when I get monetized by mine to get myself going. But what are the ways we can start writing a book?
Oh my goodness, there's so many ways. So I'm so excited you asked that because I actually have a free download. And when I first started looking into writing books and listening to the questions my authors were asking me, I had so many questions. I did so much research. So finally, a few years ago, I put together what's called the A to Z checklist to write, market, and publish your book. And it's a free download. It's about 15 or 17 pages. It'll be in the description of this program for attendees. And the link is there, and you just go to my website and you download it, and you'll have all kinds of resources at your fingertips. So that's the first thing, because what I'd like to suggest I want to encourage you to consider really reading that and understanding the 7 phases that we go to. And so, hi, Sherry. And that we have to go through in order to write our book, because it's not just about writing the book. I mean, that's the first part that's complete. There's the design, and there's the editing, and then the design, and then the publishing piece. And so once you know all 7 phases, I certainly hope you cannot hear the microwave in the background. Once you go through all those phases, once you understand the phases, you know the breadth of the project. So it is enormous. And a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to write a book, I'm going to be done. Oh, no, there's a lot more to it. And I always want my authors and other people I know that want to write a book to know all the phases. So there are 7 of them. So download that free download, no strings attached. And then I'll also give you some other resources, links to resources. In the list, there's that. I also have a course on my website that you could purchase in order to get. It's kind of the live session of the checklist. It's me talking about every single phase and giving you all kinds of resources to work on it. And then the third thing that I offer is, there's about, I think, 12 things on there, but I give you a couple of books in order to read, in order to publish it by yourself. Because I know when people want to write a book, there's not usually a lot of funds, and there are a lot of ways you can spend a lot of money writing your book. And not everybody's prepared for that. And some people want to do it all on their own. So Stephanie Chandler's book on how to publish your nonfiction book is phenomenal. It will step you through every single step you have to do in order to publish the book on your own. You may have to hire people to do it with you, but you could use things like Fiverr. You could use the other platforms that do like freelance work in order to find people for design or editing. Although I would recommend that you get an English speaking editor, because there are even people in Canada or the UK, there's nuances in there that you may not know. you'll run into, and they don't necessarily edit the way that an English-speaking book from America would find it to be the proper editing. So there, you could use all those platforms. I offer the EFA, the Editorial Freelancers Guide, and the Association of Ghostwriters, so you can hire an editor or researcher or whatever, and then also a ghostwriter. There's Stephanie Chandler's Nonfiction Authors Association. There's her workbook for marketing your book, because a lot of people will think, oh, I can write my book, and then I'll hire a PR company or a marketing company to sell it. And the caution there is, the caveat is that no one is going to care about selling your book more than you. And why that's important is because you need to be prepared to market your book to sell it. You are the number one marketer. So Stephanie's workbook is amazing. It's at least an inch thick, and it gives you all these forms you can fill out for social media, for ads, for like Google ads and stuff. It gives you every step that you need in order to market, and ideas and funnel scripts and all kinds of things. So the books, the associations, and in fact, the Nonfiction Authors Association has an upcoming conference in May. And if those topics interest you, I would say definitely attend it. You don't necessarily have to become a member, but you could become a member. There's tons of resources there. She even has lists of podcasts that people can go on or can apply to speak about their book. So that she gives out, and she gives out homework every week. And it's just a phenomenal organization. That's Nonfiction Authors Association. And I don't get any money by promoting any of these products. And then what else did I? Oh, and then I put on my own website, and if I could serve you in any way with a book chat, the link on there is there for a 25-minute call to answer any questions that you have. So I think starting with the resources and remembering the most important thing, that whoever you work with, it needs to be a good fit for you. It needs to be a good fit from the personality standpoint. Like, do you jive? Do you get along? Do you kind of have the same approach to working, or the beliefs? Do they know about your topic? Can they understand it? Can they read it? Can they write it in your voice or edit it in your voice? And this is, for people for writing. If you're going to write it yourself, then you're definitely going to write your voice. And then the other thing is that it's, timeline wise and budget wise is a good fit for you. And my biggest piece of advice there is follow your gut. If you're seeing red flags, if your stomach's getting upset or you're getting anxious, it's not the right fit. So I gave you resources to find ghostwriters, to find editors, researchers, indexers, all kinds of people. And then, I think starting with those resources and finding what the right fit is for you is a good start. I think that'll be good.
Yeah, I think I really appreciate that. And then that's something different for people like that. Again, I'll put the links in the description on this video when we're done. But Cindy, tell me, we're here to promote also what you do. So tell me why So Connected. What is So Connected? What do you do? What services do you offer the potential author out there?
Yes. So I am So Connected is my business. It's called that because I've always felt such a connection to the people that I work with. I believe that I do better work, the best work, when I'm so connected to my authors. It worked. It was a company name that worked as I had a marketing agency because I had to write for people then. It specifically works now because I not only need to be so connected to my authors, but I need to make sure that their content and the value they're bringing in their book is so connected for the readers. So that's what my business is about. It's not just a name, it's the way that we do business. And then as far as my services, I ghostwrite books. And I book doctor books. And
what is ghostwriter? Tell people what ghostwriter is.
Okay, so ghostwriter, you could think of me like as a co-writer. So what I do is we talk about your book, we do a strategy, a couple strategy sessions to figure out like what the outline is going to be, the topic, what you want for your readers, what you want for your book, what your goals are. And then I'll interview you once we get the outline together or the table of topics. I'll interview you for each chapter, and then I'll draft it, and then you'll look at it and revise it, and then I'll interview for the next chapter. And it goes on and on like that until the end. And then we do the final edits when the whole manuscript is drafted. And once the final edits are done, you're ready to take it to your publisher of choice. And I do have people that I recommend. And you're not committed. When you work with me, you're not committed to do it with any particular publisher. It's whoever's your best fit. And that's how a ghostwriter works. And, there's all kinds of ghostwriters. Some ghostwriters will just take the transcripts and edit them and give you a book. Some ghostwriters will have a kind of a format that they follow, that there's certain things in each chapter, and it's, kind of clean cut and everything. And then there's ghostwriters like me who are very customized to the author, and it's all depending on their content and what they're looking to do. So it all depends on, again, like what you're writing about, who's a good fit for you, what your budget is. They always say you pay for what you get, what you pay for. So that's, something to be considered. But, at the end of the day, writing your book is, super important. And so you want it to be a pleasant experience. And so that's the ghostwriting services. And then the book doctoring services are as if you have a drafted manuscript already, and you have, and you need someone to kind of go in and polish it. Maybe you're not a great writer. Maybe you hate writing as much as I hate math. You hate writing as much as I hate math, and you need some help with it, right? So I go in, I take this manuscript, I evaluate it, and then there's development editors who will just kind of give you a report and an idea of what to change. I do that in a deeper sense, and I make the changes for you. So I go in and I see what needs to be changed. Of course, I talk to you. You get to see them so you can approve them. And sometimes I'll restructure the book. I'll work with you to add more value for your readers. We might, put some elements in the chapters to make it more palatable for the readers. So it's really a really deep dive, like a doctor or surgeon.
You're right.
I probably call myself the book surgeon, but book doctor is what I go with. And so those are the two services I offer.
There was something about energy, and we talked about what you heard Cindy talk about is you got to go to God.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm telling you, you just heard Cindy's reason for doing what she does. Mm-hmm. And it's a passion. It was born out of a dark time. And I'm telling you, being one that's born out of a dark time, mm-hmm. There's nothing more powerful than that. Really, it's so emotional and so gripping. So I can't wait, Cindy. But, I know several people. I think Daniel Dark is out there. He gets mixed up with the wrong people that publishing and you heard this story before, and it's not very great. But I am telling you, when you go with Cindy, when you go with So Connected, I know in my heart, my gut, there's something so real and so genuine about you, Cindy.
Thank you.
I can't wait to get monetized. So TV media is all monetized yet, but I have again. I'm going with my God. I know someday it's going to be something big. So TV media will be a global movement. It already is starting, and I can't wait. But I really want to, it's so funny, a 30 minutes gone already, but I want to say one thing, people. You want to leave that legacy. You want to lead up. You want to lead the legacy, lead your niche, lead your people, stand out above them, write a book. Write a book. Go to speaking presentations. Say, I have my book. I brought it on the back table. On your way out, pick one up. It makes you set you apart from the rest. Cindy, I just can't think enough. And again, what is the best way right now? What is the best way to connect with you or to get in touch with you? We're going to put links in the description of the video. What is the best way right now if someone wanted to get all of you?
I would say go to the Connect page on my website. It's SoConnectedLLC.com.
All right, that's great. You got SoConnectedLLC.com. Cindy, I can't thank you enough for being here. Thank you so much.
It's such an honor. Thank you for having me.
It's so welcome. And hopefully soon we'll do it. We'll talk again. Thank you again for being here, Cindy.
Thank you.
Set me on